that's hot.
Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Nothing's Wrong podcast. I'm your host, Isabel.
And I'm Catherine. Thank you all for tuning in. Make sure you hit the like, make sure you hit the share, and make sure you follow our social medias.
Do the whole thing if you haven't done it already. I know we say it, and I know most of you guys have already done that. But in case there's some that have not done it, follow the rules as you come in. And today we're going to be talking about a very, very important topic, and it's about communication. So before we start, let's get those likes coming in. Marcello saying hello. I'm at work. Okay, Marcello, thank you for being here.
Thank
Even
you for
while you're at
tuning
work.
in.
We
I know,
appreciate
right?
you.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure you hit that like. Let's see.
Yeah.
Let's see these likes. As
Let's
you
see
at
these
work,
lights
you can
go
put a
up
like.
before we start
Okay.
talking. Because you can't enter the building or into our household called Nothing's Wrong if you ain't doing that. So make sure you're doing that.
Right.
It's nice to see you,
You
as well.
I know you look very beautiful tonight. I love that lip color on you.
Oh,
Nice.
same for you. I love your lighting today. It looks like we can see you totally. So.
You know, we upgraded. So
It's looking nice. Ooh.
I have some plants back here making a special appearance with me, so we got some good energy that I'm surrounded into, because I know that this topic, what we're talking about, is really deep. And like, I know we could look at it as just like, okay, communication is key, but what is the key for? Why what is it unlocking, right? Because that's what keys do. They unlock things. And that's why I'm just like excited to talk about it today. I'm excited that, I'm here with you, and I'm excited that I got these plants with me. So yes.
Good energy communication is definitely key. And also, it's not only like what you're communicating with others, but it's what you communicate within yourself. And that's the most important part about tonight's show. It's all about self and self-realization and understanding when you're doing too much or you're on the right track. So it's really important that we acknowledge that, because we're at a time right now where depression is real, life is real, things are really happening. So it's really important to like stay grounded within self and communicate the right things to self, because there's so much destruction going on in everybody's head, and then it just results into negativity, or it can result into positivity. You just never know what kind of mindset you have.
Right. Tone Deaf said, great topic, ladies. Okay, thank you for being here.
Thank you for
And you guys already know TDR Network. We're on there. You're probably watching us on here now, so say what's up if you're watching us from TDR Network.
Right.
Shout out to y'all. So just make sure you guys are on there, listen to some podcasts. But yes, but yeah, for sure. And what I mean, you're the one who kind of brought up this topic for us to talk about, and it was like kind of calling to you, I guess, this week. I'll let you say your piece.
Well, in reality, the reason why I brought it up is because it's like I was telling you earlier, it's just like what one tells itself, it can like really, really turn into something crazy, turn into something great. It just really depends. But I've just been seeing that it's just like the more you communicate with yourself and you like really communicate with yourself, and sometimes it takes down to therapy and like having somebody like hear you out on the things that you're going through in life and without any response. And just to hear you, and then you also hearing yourself, and you're like, you know, whatever it is. But I just was like,
I think
that energy.
Right. But I think sometimes it's kind of like scary to do that at the same time, because it's like you have to be vulnerable to communicate, and you have to put yourself in a space where your feelings could get hurt, or you can be misunderstood. You can like it's like a brave act to do is that. And I realized that because I remember like I had a really tough time like communicating when I was younger. I was really shy. I didn't know, it wasn't that I didn't know how to talk or anything like that. Like I was really intelligent and all that stuff, but it was more about like I just had a fear of being vulnerable, even or the fear of sounding dumb, or the fear of like I just was like riddled with fear over the unknowing, just the not knowing how the person was going to respond to me, that it handicapped me. And so that expressed itself in many parts of my life where I wasn't communicating anything I was feeling. And everything that was happening was because I didn't have that communication. And so as I got older and I started to experience forced communication, where it's like, okay, if you don't talk, you're not going to get anything, you know? And so as I started doing that, then I realized like a lot of what I was telling myself was what was holding me back. And it was, yeah. So that was just like a whole thing about it. But yeah.
Yeah. See, that's with me, I felt like I overly communicated with myself,
Right.
and in a way that it was detrimental to a lot of things, you know. And I'm telling myself this, I'm communicating myself with this, and I'm communicating with others with this, and it's
Mm-hmm.
just like, before
Antonio saying, "Hola, mamacitas." Hola,
hola,
Antonio.
thanks for
Marcelo
tuning
says, y'all have some beautiful skin. Oh, look. Thank you, Marcelo.
Thank you,
We
Marcello.
appreciate you.
He's like, I'm not even listening to them talk. I'm just hearing them speak. And I'm
He's like, that
beautiful
skin girl.
skin, lips and skin, hair and
All
skin,
right.
lips. No, I'm just kidding.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, yada yada yada. But in, like I was saying, like yeah, it's a serious thing. Where when you're communicating with yourself, I think you really have to take it like to a serious level, like a real life level, where you're evaluating your life and the way that you communicate with others. Is it important? Like you said that you were scared, you would like, you know, shy, and you couldn't speak up for yourself because you didn't know how to basically communicate with others, where you felt comfortable to be yourself, or either to explain something that you want. um I don't know, you know, that fear that holds you back. And you know, you had to come to a realization, is like, am I going to live like this forever? Am I going to continue to be a shy person? Is this person going to get me to where I need to go? And then you ended up seeing that that doesn't
Yeah.
work. You can't rely on somebody else to speak for you, or you can't rely on, you know, um,
Right.
things to happen when, you know, closed mouths don't get fed, and people who keep shut or shut people out.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't know. What are you thinking? He's laughing? Mm-hmm. What do you think?
Yeah. I mean, you just said what I said back to me. So yeah.
I did.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't feel like it. I felt like I was saying something that came straight from my mouth. But maybe it's a similarity. But
But you were talking about like what I went through. I said, yeah. Like,
yeah, no,
yeah,
I'm just
I
saying,
said
like,
the same thing.
yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But you know, today I'm so happy because like I was really going into like this overly thinking, overly seeing things, making things like imaginary things come into existence, and I'm like, what am I doing? You know, and I
Mm-hmm.
was grateful that I had, like, it's important to have someone around you that can get you sane again, or, like that can actually, let you know what's going on. Because if you don't have anybody, and there's a lot of people who don't have people by their side that helps them, and I feel like this show also helps people as well. Like, you know,
Mm-hmm.
especially when you're going through something and you want to like actually have clarity on it and see it in another light, it may or may not be the response that you want to hear, but
You know,
but
that's your
you have to
favorite
hear it.
word.
It is my favorite word. It's part of my lingo.
Mm-hmm.
Because you should know, because everybody
Okay.
experience it. That's why people use those kind of terms sometimes. It's like, oh no I don't, and it's like, yeah, you do know, pull it out yourself. So though, that's
Right.
why I use that term. So it's not like type of thing. It's like, no, you really do. So, but yeah, I didn't want to go overboard on, like, being a preacher and trying to have people, communicate. Just be real. The thing about everything about communication is be real. And I feel like sometimes when I am so real that it's at a point of the communication where it's like, you didn't have to say that. And in my head I'm like, I could say whatever I want that's in my head, but it's not acceptable in this world. I think it is, but then you're considered an asshole, or you're considered a B, or whatever.
Well,
Like,
unless you are
if
being
you're kind
real,
of,
doesn't mean that that's
mhm.
only what real is. You know.
Yeah, but I'm saying in the way that you want to explain it. And it could be harsh to someone. I think being harsh is, yeah, forget it.
Yeah. Go ahead.
No, I think I said what I had to say. We can move on.
Okay. Go ahead.
Mhm. Yeah, so I seen a post about like I seen a post about relationships, so we can get into that. This woman was talking about how it's okay for, like, for your man to cheat and do what he does, let him cheat in peace when he comes back home. It's okay for that. And that's another part of communication. Without that person knew that she already caught him doing that, but he doesn't know that she knows, but she's going to keep it to herself because she knows that, she's not going anywhere. And if she says something, she's afraid that he will leave.
Okay.
So with that kind of like lack of communication in those aspects, do you feel like it's okay for a woman to accept that and just, like, you know continue,
Well,
her
if
days
that's the
there?
life that she wants to live,
Mm-hmm.
then that's definitely the life she's gonna live.
Mm-hmm.
So that's all personal preference. If you want to deal with somebody who's cheating on you and you don't want to say anything, then you might actually get your man stolen,
Or
because
you
people
you
think being cool and being agreeable will get them what they want, but it doesn't work that way. Being
Mhm,
disagreeable gets you what
mhm,
you want. Why don't you think you're worth him not cheating on you? Why don't you want to leave if he's valuing other people's time other than you? And why can't you call him out on it? Why are you scared for whatever the outcome may be? Maybe, you finding out could be what makes him stop. Like, why would that why would you let him go do something why would you want to even keep that secret for him? I think people be in like weird relationships where it's like they don't understand what a relationship is. It's part
mhm,
of like if your man doesn't like consider you one of his like best friends, if he doesn't feel safe with you and he's communicating to you his feelings and the more sensitive, more emotional parts of himself, and he's finding like comfort and happiness with being around you, then that's not your man. That's, the guy that you may be sleeping with or living with, but that's not the relationship of what real relationships are built on. Real relationships are built on friendship. And a
Mm-hmm.
lie like that is very disloyal. It's not something he would do to somebody he considered a friend. That's not something he would do to somebody. See, I think people give men and this cheating thing such a pass nowadays because it's like all men cheat. And it's like all men can cheat, but not all men will do it. Like anybody can kill somebody, but not everybody's going to do it. So of course they have the option. Everybody has the option to cheat, but it takes certain situations, certain people that will make you loyal to somebody that wouldn't even be an option for you. So I think that if it's also up to the woman to decide if that's the way she want to live her life. If she's open to living in a situation where lies are being told and people aren't saying what they truly mean, like I said, she's thinking that it's going to make him stay, but in the reality, the woman that challenges him, the woman that doesn't, that fights for her rights, is the one who gets what she wants every time. So,
Mm-hmm. And
and
I
I
think
don't mean fighting like, go fight him, go nag him about it, but state what you know, and move forward with your logic, not with your emotion, and be confident in yourself. I think that's also the issue.
that's what I
Like,
was gonna say. I think it's the lack of confidence within self, and that they don't believe that they can do better. They don't believe that
right,
there's no belief in self, and so
right,
that's because they're not communicating with within their self and understanding and seeing the bigger picture of what's going on here.
yeah.
Obviously, that person isn't satisfied with you. That they have to go out there and do that. And so for me, like if you're not satisfied and you're going to go out there and do that, then I might as well get myself out of here. Like I don't have to,
And I
you
become
know,
satisfied.
exactly.
Why would I? Unless
Mhm.
the thing of it is like you let him have his pleasure for you to suffer. It sounds stupid. And what
Mhm.
is it that he's gonna give you that's gonna be worth it? That's the biggest thing that doesn't make sense with it, is because what is it that he's gonna provide you that what he's doing to you, which is you know leaving your not being loyal to you, lying to you, because if you're not going to tell him, he's going to continue to lie to you. um he's going to continue to lie to you and all this stuff. Like what are you getting? Like, is it because you're stay at home wife and he's taking care of the bills, and you like your comfortable life? Is that the case? I mean, that's the only real reason, if he was a multimillionaire, for you to stay. But if you're talking about just a regular guy, and a guy who is
Oh,
doing what other regular guys are doing, what are you just why are you allowing this to happen and not challenging him on it?
mhm.
If you're But is she a wife?
No.
Yeah, and that's how you never become a wife.
Oh, hold on, wait. This was her husband. I'm sorry. Yes. She was not like dealing with a guy that was like making a lot of money or anything like that. She was
Right.
just,
Because she's okay, so then it's
middle
clear she
class.
liked him more than he likes her.
And it's because she didn't find her individual self. And I think he is the one that was responsible for everything in the household. So that's another thing too. Is like, you know, women are taking all of their energy into this person who they think that will support them for the rest of their life. And that's why it's important to always have like a plan B, where you're not really
You
this is
you
why it's
depend on him,
important
but you
to not
still depend
depend
on
on,
yourself.
no, exactly. And that's why it's important to like, have, if someone's doing that, you got to be able to get up and go, like, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying, so that they can understand what they're missing, But if you can't get up and go because you're like, I can't even afford to get my own spot, or I can't even,
Then
you know,
then if
care
you
my.
can't get up and go, then you have your priorities all messed up. Now,
Mhm.
when it comes to that situation, I don't necessarily say get up and go, but I
Yeah.
do say communicate and let them know, like, what's the point of carrying that burden for him? If this is something that you found out and you love this man, I know it's hurting on your heart. Why would you carry that burden alone? He's the one who's doing it. Give it back to him. Let him know what you know so you can have him and you figure it out. If you're not going to leave, you don't have to leave, because you know you can start putting boundaries up. You can say, we're in an open marriage right now. You can do a lot of different things, but don't hold it back unless you're going to throw it in his face later and you have some good thing that you're planning to do it with. But it sounds stupid to hold it back. I think that it's just immature and it's just stupid. It doesn't make sense,
Mhm.
because
I
it's
think.
better, like, if he finds those things out about what you know, that's your leverage.
Mhm.
That's how you're going to be able to get what you want. You threaten to leave by, like, men only know what they want when it's gone.
Mhm. That's why I said that you need to be able to give space so people could realize how important or how less important or whatever it is for
Right.
one another, so that people can get there. Sometimes people do need space, and people
Yeah.
need time, and people need to figure things out, and that is okay. But
Right.
I feel like people, like, if you're not happy in your relationship or you got something going on, you should let that person know so that they can go ahead and do what they got to do too, because
To
a
fix it.
lot of women or men, whoever is more into the relationship than the other, puts all this energy towards them, and then, for them to go through a situation of that, like cheating and stuff like that, and not communicate with them beforehand that there's something going on. Before you want to unzip your pants, let me know, hey, there's something about you that ain't working out right now,
Right.
so that person can figure it out. I was watching the movie and I forgot the name of it, but the guy, they were like helping them. I think it's called Setup. You ever heard of that one?
Mm-hmm.
So basically, the assistants were trying to get the two bosses to, date each other so that they can have some free
Yeah.
time.
Mm-hmm.
And the guy was overhearing, like, the guy was like talking on the phone, talking about, like, I guess, women with, like, he don't like women who have, like, hair down there. He likes them like waxed up and stuff like that. And so they're like, oh my god, that's probably why he didn't call that girl, is because she's probably hairy or whatever. Let's schedule her appointment to, like, because you're compromising, uh to make sure that this relationship lasts long, where everybody can communicate. I mean, they don't communicate amongst each other, but the people who are setting them up notice that, hey, this one likes this one, is doing this, but she can fix that. That's something you can fix. Just like a relationship of why he's cheating on you. It's like, well, what's the point of you cheating on me? Is it the way that my body looks? Is it the way that, something going on? Everything can be fixed. What people don't
Right.
understand, that, they try to break up, or they try to think, like, people can fix things.
And
It's
I
an
think, like,
easy.
if you're married, like, your
Mhm.
first instinct isn't to break up. Like, your instinct
Yeah,
is to try to fix it.
right.
And
That's why
that should,
there's
and
couple
then,
therapy and stuff.
but that's why you should be marrying somebody who you know has the ability to fix things, is a
Mhm.
solution based person, is somebody who's not going to just allow things to crumble around them without, fighting to put it back together again, or,
Mhm.
rebuild with you. And I think that's really what it is. People don't get married for the right things, and it's because a lot of people don't even know what they want. They
Mhm.
just marry, like, I mean, I know so many people who's been married, divorced, married and divorced, married and divorced, and it's like, how do you keep on picking the wrong person? Did you
because
never?
because they just want somebody to fill the seat, and this is the thing that people are doing, is trying to get somebody to fill the seat, and then not realizing that that person is not obtaining to like what your liking is or what their liking is, and then they think that it is because it may be a sexual relationship, it may be like a, you know, that there's not real much
Right.
detailed into finding out what this relationship is, that causes them to split and causes them to, I think the friendship part is important, because once you're friends with them, once you understand who they are, what they like, what you like, and like, you know, you're really maneuvering and understanding each relationship that you guys have, what ticks you, what doesn't, what makes you laugh, what thing, like it comes down to a lot of things. And you
Mm-hmm.
know, them surprising you and doing the you know, the nice kind things that you like. It's like a birthday party. Remember when you were a kid, like your parents will throw you a surprise birthday party, you come in and everybody, like, you know, they're doing things to like surprise you and make you enjoy this relationship more and more and more and more. And then that is where you build and you can last forever. But if there is not that in that relationship, there's no relationship.
Right. It's only a
It's
situationship
just a
until the time it
situationship,
runs itself
somebody
out.
just holding the
Even if you make
space.
it a big commitment, it's just like
Yeah,
you didn't
it's
even.
just, yeah.
If I just feel like if you're gonna divorce somebody, then why did you even marry them?
Well, people do that all the time. I think that, like I
It's
said,
because
it comes
they're
down to
not
that point.
choosing, because they're not choosing the person who they actually. I know, and the thing of it is, I've met a lot of men. This happened to them where they got with a girl and like what she said she wanted before they got married, she changed her mind and she ended up not wanting kids at the timeline that he said he wanted kids. And then everything else just started crumbling in the relationship, and then they got divorced. And, you know, I could tell he was sad about it, but it was like, it's really, you know, you got nobody to blame but yourself, because I'm pretty sure like more about like her personality, the way she was and the things that she did. It's kind of like they kind of like a lot of people just put on the rose colored glasses and just like don't like actually pay attention to what people are telling them and
Right.
believing them.
Hmm. Just like my
It's
friends,
like
it's
nothing is a surprise. This person has been telling this about themselves from the beginning, if you were paying attention, or no, you were just looking at them for your own expectations and how you want them to feel in your life. You wasn't actually looking at them critically and saying, this doesn't actually work for me. I don't actually want this type of energy. And I think that's also the thing is like, I think people have very low confidence in themselves and the universe or God that they claim that they worship and stuff like that. They don't have much. When you're not willing to let go, that means you don't have confidence in what you're going to receive, you know, because you never going to let go and never receive something. As soon as you give something up, something comes back to you. That's just the law of attraction. That's just the laws of the universe. It's just, you know, everything is back and forth, back and forth. That's just the energy. It's just cycling. So to not be able to let it go so you can receive something more, that means you don't believe that that something more is going to come to you. And so it's like a lot of people don't believe in that, even though they claim they do, but they don't believe that they're abundant. They don't believe that the universes and the forces are behind them. They don't believe in those ideas. And the people who do believe that, those are the people who go out and be innovators. They're the, you know, the tastemakers. They're the ones who break records and do what it is that they want to do. Those people, they're the ones who's always like winning. They're the ones who's always getting there, and everybody else is just like, oh well, we can't do that. That's impossible, you know. And the reality of it, it's possible to anybody. They just believe into the force that they're protected, abundant, and can do infinite things in an infinite world.
hmm that's powerful stuff.
So I think that's the first thing to work on when you communicate, is just knowing that whatever it is that you say,
I think you got to be real with yourself and what you want in your
yeah.
life, and like you got to stop playing around. You got to stop letting just people be fillers, heat fillers, communicating with
Yeah.
the wrong people, doing the wrong deals, like just making wrong choices. I think that as New Year's resolutions come out, like it needs to be a start from now, like to communicate what you really want out of this life, because
And then
this
if
is on.
don't be scared to
Mhm.
not to for the person to walk away. It's like what she said, like, oh, I don't want to say anything because I don't want him to leave.
Right.
And if he leaves and somebody else is coming, do you really
That's
think
what
life
I
stops
think
at
that
that
we,
one person? It
yeah,
doesn't
I think
happen
that
that
life,
way.
it doesn't, but like
It
people are
never happens
so
that way.
drawn to the situation, the person, whatever the case may be,
But if the
where
person sucks, the person sucks. Like, I don't like that's just like the reality of it. And I think it's obviously the Capricorn in me is like always willing to go to the next to achieve the next thing because, that's just the personality of like moving up, getting better. And, you have to be able to let things go to be able to do that. But and then you fight for what it is that you want to keep, but the things that don't make sense, the things that don't logically get you to where you want to go, that's like what people who stay in relationships with people for years knowing that it's not going to lead to marriage, it's not going to lead to full commitment, to it's not going to lead to what a relationship is supposed to lead to, but they stay there and they claim that they're in a relationship. But if relationship is a ship, that means it's moving. Ships
yeah,
move. Ships
yeah,
take
they don't stay
keys.
on
They
dock.
don't stay on the dock the whole
Mm-hmm.
time. And if a
Right.
ship is staying on the dock, then it's not even. Is it really even a ship at that point, or is it just a museum or something to go look at? It's not actually like a moving ship. So if you're in a relationship and
Oh,
there's no, you're not going any further, don't go from being steady to like talking stage and then getting into, the relationships of being together, engaged, and then getting married and starting a family and then build those having those experiences and then going, to the next stages over and over, like being grandparent, doing all of those things, you're not in a relationship. Because if you're not gonna get that full coming together and then going on this ride together,
mm-hmm.
you're just wasting your time. And then people think, no, well, I've been doing this for so long, there's nothing else here for me. And then the reality of it is, but there's so much here for everybody. What do you mean? That's like saying like, oh, I gotta like make sure I'm gonna get this food right here because if I don't get this, there's never gonna be food again. I'll never
And
be
then
able to eat again. It's
that's
like,
the
oh, if
problem.
I don't eat tonight, then I'll never be able to eat again. I can't eat tomorrow. I can't eat another day. I can't skip this meal right now. It's like that's how limiting the mind
The
becomes.
that's not a way of living. I mean, like,
Right.
come on, you got to see our ancestors from back in the days. They went through more things that we went through, and and
Right.
they got to where they
Ipadem
needed to
says,
go.
hi Belle, hi Kat. Good to see you, beautiful ladies. Hi, thank you
Good
for
to see you
being
too.
here. Love you.
Yeah, yeah.
But go ahead.
No, I'm just saying, like, our ancestors sat there and did so much to get us to where they needed to go. And I'm sure, like, if you look at their love life and their love stories that they had, their men fought hard. And I think
I
a
think
lot
it
of
was
men,
more practical back then. They did what made sense. It's not like, you know,
they didn't
uh
overthink, they didn't
they didn't
do
make
the
it
most.
complicated. Yeah,
Yeah.
they said, "What's the easiest way to do this relationship? How are we gonna, go further together? Okay, let's pair up,
Mm-hmm.
because let's go with the one who is different from the other, but then they can get along. And then now that's the connection, the negative and the positive coming together. That creates life. That's the thing. Okay, in this, the man is physically stronger, so he has
Mm-hmm.
to protect the woman who is emotionally, psychically, energetically the creator of the two. He's
Mm-hmm.
protecting her womb, her children, to make sure that they can continue to reproduce and thrive in this world. So she's taking care of them, being able to be produced, be created, and thrive in there. And he's making sure that while that's happening, of their perimeter is safe, that they're comfortable in that, and that she has the ability to be that empress, that goddess. You know, that's the whole idea of Snow White getting kissed by the prince. He awakens her to who she truly is. She's really a queen. She's really, you know, on top of her game, and he has to come and wake her up, because he's, and then go on this journey with her to protect her, to show her who. But it's all telling you in these stories our roles and how we help each other, and how, you know, we do this beautiful dance in life together. But again, people make it harder. Somebody's not doing that role with you. Somebody is not, you know, riding or dying with you. If somebody is not showing up for you, if somebody is cheating on you, or choosing other people ahead of you, or choosing other things ahead of you, then you have to just treat them accordingly and say, this isn't really a relationship. Like, why accept something that you don't want to accept? Why accept something that I remember, like, in some conversations that we had, um and it came up of me saying that I don't feel comfortable with my significant other being friends with a woman, right? If you're claiming that this is your best friend and stuff like that, I'm not really interested in that type of relationship a man is having with a woman, right? And it's like, oh, I got called jealous, I got called, you know, all of these things. But in the reality, it's not what I want. If it's not what I want, why would I accept it? If it's something that if it's something that I wanted, then fine. That then I would be think, but it's not something I want. And I think that people just think like, oh, well, then no, you have to compromise in that. It's like, would I have to compromise in that? If that's not, everybody has that. Not that everybody's doing that. So why would I have to compromise? Why would I have to accept what I don't want? Ibrahim says, so true. Thank you.
Yeah. I think that mainly with not dealing with things that you don't want is okay,
I mean,
because
you called me. I mean, you guys can all go watch the episode again. But
sure.
you even called me like, oh, jealous, jealous. And it's like, it has nothing to do with jealousy. It has everything
Well,
to
I,
do.
I said that because like it just really depends on the relationship of the person. Like if that person is calling you every single day, trying to
It
be a
has
close,
nothing to do
it
with
has.
being jealous. It's about respect and loyalty.
Mm-hmm.
Jealousy has nothing to do with it. I'm not jealous of the relationship. I'm not interested in the relationship happening at all.
Mm-hmm.
That's not jealousy. I don't want to be friends with him like you. I'm not jealous of you. I'm in a relationship with him.
I don't know if I said it was a jealousy, or was it more of.
We can look back at the video.
Yeah,
It was
maybe. Yeah,
jealous.
maybe we can go back in the video and check it out. But it's
I
just
mean, I
like,
don't have a. I
it
know you
was
don't
like
think
more
that
of
of
like
me,
a
but
controlling thing where it's like, oh, I don't want you to deal with this person,
I
and that
wouldn't even
person
tell
has
that
built.
person that. As soon as I checked that that was the situation, I wouldn't even
Mhm.
be seriously considering the situation anymore.
I mean, like in reality, there's no need for somebody else to be like super best friends with a woman on a level where it's gonna destroy the relationship. I think like it could be a casual thing, like when I meet you, when I see you, whatever, this is my friend. I've known that person, but it doesn't have to go to down to like, oh, she communicates with me every day. She needs to know my
Yeah.
business about
Oh,
this or that.
if
Like,
I don't
no,
communicate
okay,
with her, she's gonna feel bad because, you
okay.
know, like,
Nobody wants to
no,
deal with things like that.
that's too
No, of
close.
course not. No,
And
but
that's what
I
I'm
was
talking
saying that
about.
I was okay
That was
with
what the
them
conversation
having
was on.
female friends. That is okay. You can have a female friend,
But
but
that's what
doesn't
I
mean that
said.
you're
The female
communicating with them.
friend, I was saying the female friend is what capacity of a friend is it
Yeah.
to be? And
Mhm.
it's like, oh, well, you guys can all be friends. And it's like, well, does she already have a man? Why would she want to hang out with me and my boyfriend if she doesn't herself have a man? That would be very
Yeah,
awkward.
that's weird.
Why would
Unless
she
we're
want
going
to
to an
hear?
event or we're going to
Why
something
would
that
she
is like
want
a
to
wedding,
hear?
that's fine.
Why would she want to hear about our relationship and what I'm doing in the relationship if she doesn't have a man? She's obviously not, like, people don't realize that what the other person that they're communicating doesn't have. If you're not 100% sure that person got you, even if, you know, no matter what you do, people don't always wish the best for you or want the same for you.
Mhm.
They could say, "Oh, I love you, I want the best for you," but because they're not happy or they don't have anything that they want right now, they will turn around and put like bad juju or bad, even subconsciously will do that to you.
Mhm.
So that's just, yeah, I don't play when it comes to like relationships and having other people in it and stuff like that. I don't think that's not gonna ever work for me. I don't think that that's like, and I communicate that. Like I'm not scared to communicate exactly what I want and what I don't want. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna accept what I don't want. I think that that's for the rest of my life. Let me go accept what I don't want for the rest of my life. Like, okay, well then that's pathetic.
Yeah. Well, that's good that you don't do that because you
Hmm.
live a better life because you are in a real relationship, you know? And so that should be people's goals, being real in their relationship and not just dealing with things that you don't want to accept. And I think that is like, in reality, that's is seriously a waste of time and energy and emotion. I'm an emotional being. I could not deal with, you know me as well. I can't
Right.
deal with something that's just not on the level that I'm looking for. And no. So if you're dealing with that and you're doing that in your day-to-day life and you're dealing with secrets that you hate, that you know that you want them to stop, or you just don't want that kind of relationship, speak up for yourself. Like,
Right.
it's time to speak up and communicate how you really feel, because
Hmm.
nothing's going to change. You're going to continue experiencing the same situation, same people, continuously showing you that same thing that you don't want. So if you don't want to speak up for yourself, enjoy this process of life, and it's going to kill you. So if I was you, I would make the decision of keeping it real, being yourself, and understanding like,
And yeah, because if you don't speak up, like I said, the alternative is you just might get your man taken.
mm-hmm, you'll get your man taken. You'll
Because
get
maybe that
somebody
girl
else
took,
will get a better opportunity than you. Say you want a
because say
job
that
position,
situation could
whatever.
happen, and then you think, well, I'm not going to say anything because I don't want him to leave, but then you wasn't really saying nothing and he didn't even think that you cared really that much, but this girl
Mm-hmm.
that he's dealing with, she cared and she want him to make a move, and he's like, well, I don't want to let her go because she's already put the pressure on him, and now he's moving and
Oh
just might
yeah.
just say, you know what, I'm more in love with this girl, not because he really is in love with her, but because
Mm-hmm.
she got him so on his toes about her leaving him alone that he's like, I love her. I
Mm-hmm.
clearly must love her more. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go after her because she's not gonna sit here and just accept what I'm giving her right now. And you thinking you being the good wife, I'm not gonna say nothing. I'm gonna just sit here and let him do what he do, and I don't want him to leave and all that. You think you're doing him a favor? He's like, oh yeah, she don't say nothing. She's not about the drama, but I like drama. These guys like
That's
drama.
what I'm seeing. These guys
So
love some
bring the
drama.
smoke and confront him with it. And he'll respect you more for confronting him with his truth than
Mm-hmm.
it is for you to continue to let him lie.
Okay.
Help him lie and he will lie right out of your life.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Make him
That's
deal with his truth and like people respect that, you know? People respect that because they understand that at the end of the day that's what they need to do. That's what they needed to hear. People like, and even if it's harsh, they like to hear the truth because at the end of the day,
I was
it's
saying
the truth.
earlier, I was like, yeah, they don't like it when it's harsh, they don't, but
It may be
in
harsh, but if it comes out, like, it's better. Like at the end of
no,
the
in
day, it's
reality,
out. It's better. He doesn't
the
have to
more,
hide about it anymore. Get it off the
right.
table. Like we all know. So now what we gonna do about it?
Exactly. And I feel you because like when you
Hmm.
do that, that's exactly what you receive. And
Right.
like it feels better because then people have clarity and understanding, and they won't be
Right.
doing what they that you had to deal with, the things that you had to deal with. If you're not communicating that, nobody's gonna make no change because they
Because
think
all
you're
it
okay
is
with
like,
it.
okay, I know that you cheating on me, because especially you,
Yeah.
Mary. I know
Tell
that
me
this
what
is going
it
on.
is.
Tell me why you're doing it. How's
Right.
this happen? Who's this girl? I need to know every little thing about it, and I'm not going to
Mm-hmm.
be upset with you because
Mm-hmm.
I'm just trying to. Because clearly, there's a reason why you did it. What
Let me
now?
tell
I
you
got to
why
figure
he's
out
gonna
if
tell you.
I'm the reason. If
Exactly.
I'm the reason, then let
Mm-hmm.
me fix it. But if I'm not the
Mm-hmm.
reason, and you
Mm-hmm.
just are in love with this woman, stuff,
Or you're
let
a
me get
sex
out of your
addict.
way. Let me get out of your way. Like at the
Mm-hmm.
end of the day, like what is
Mm-hmm.
your reason? And then
Mm-hmm.
you got to be willing to give people the proper solution, and don't
Right.
be selfish and just like, well, I'm never gonna let you go, and I don't want you to be with nobody else. Let that person go, and let the universe
Yeah.
bless you with what is right with you, what is right for you. That's the easy,
People
simple
scared
truth
of
right
that
there.
transition, to do
But
it
that
alone.
transition saved your life. Because
Exactly.
then if you didn't transition and go through all of that, guess what was going to happen? You was going to stay the next couple of years with the same man who was only going to leave you and get somebody else.
Mm-hmm. And the same thing
Because
goes
you
for the
thought you
women
was
for
being the
men.
good wife. How many women who thought they were being the good wife end up getting left or end up getting a divorce anyways, and the guy ends up with a either younger woman or a woman who he marries within the next year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a sad thing.
Right on you. And people, that's, I mean, it's heartbreaking. It's hard to deal
Oh
with, but
yeah.
this happens to women a lot, and it's because they didn't speak up for themselves. It's because they didn't have the respect for themselves. It's because they wanted to try to make this be something it was never.
Mm-hmm. It's a seat filler.
And then sometimes when people come at people, they just come with fighting and not coming with solution.
And
And
that's
that's also
that's
an issue.
yeah, that I've seen that too. A lot of women, they just like to start riffing off, and it's just like, oh, you're gonna lose this man,
And
right?
guys will
Because
rip off too. And
of
guys will
course,
rip off too. And it's like, so
exactly.
everybody, so you want to fight and so you don't want to get the solution. You
Mm-hmm.
don't, and that's the kicker right there, because they think it's about them. It's not about you.
Yeah.
So if you don't go at it like, okay, this person's going through something right now, I'm supposed to be their partner in this life. I'm supposed to be their protection in some type of way. So if my partner's hurt right now, let me go aid my partner, because if my partner's hurt, that means we're both handicapped. So
Mm-hmm.
let me figure out why my partner is doing something that's gonna hurt this relationship. And then you're gonna find out the truth. Maybe your partner wants to go be a partner with somebody else. Maybe they don't like this team anymore. Maybe they don't want to leave the team, but they definitely need the team to start doing different things. Maybe the team needs to, upgrade, or maybe the team, he didn't know that the team was as valuable as it was until you just said something.
Mm-hmm.
How are you supposed to figure that out if you don't communicate?
Mm-hmm.
That's why communication is key, guys. I have to go bowling.
Oh, you do? Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
And I know we were on here for a while,
yeah.
but we kind of started a little later in
It's
bowling.
cool. No big deal. But I think it's cool. Enjoy your bowl. But yeah, communication is key. So, start living in that life. Start living in your truth. Stop letting people play you for a fool. You know,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes you pull the fool card, but it's time to stand up and stand up for yourself, put yourself first, and find your individuality and be that
Your
person.
truth.
Exactly. Be that
Your
person.
truth.
Let
And be
people know
brave
who you
to do
are.
that.
Exactly. And be happy about it. And if people don't fit the team, they just don't fit the team, and it's fine. Like, understand that it's
Not
okay.
everybody can make the team.
No matter if you like them. Like, bye. See
It's
you
like, I
later.
really, I really liked you, but you
Yeah.
just, you
Dude,
didn't
just
do
didn't
what the
hit the cup.
requirements was, and I
Hmm.
can't do that for you.
Right.
So I'm gonna just,
Maybe you'll try again next year. How about that? So,
yeah.
yeah. It was nice for, getting this clarity of communication out with you. And,
Right.
hopefully this is something that somebody needed to hear because, you know, life is hard. But
But
you
it
don't have to
doesn't.
live, it doesn't have to, you don't have to live that way, and you don't have to accept everything that's given to you, you know?
Right.
So make better choices, and you don't have to choose so soon. You know, sometimes we pick so quick, and because we want seat fillers, and it's not needed. We need to be
You hurt
happy. That's why
yourself
you
more
gotta
with seat
worry
fillers.
about yourself. As you think of, as you go through negativity, think
Sometimes you need
yourself
the
in
seat to be
positivity.
empty.
Huh?
Sometimes you need the seat to be empty.
That's what I'm saying. So you can know what kind of people you want to sit next to you. What's kind
Exactly.
of what you want your team to look like. You know, you gotta put your, bullet points together, your blueprint. Because you
Right.
can't just have everybody. There needs to be a job description where everybody can understand what their jobs are. But
Right. This
yes.
is what I'm looking for.
Hmm.
If you could do this, then we good. If you can't do this, it's not gonna
Look
work.
at how many people are
Period.
experiencing that in their lives.
Yeah.
Why you got to be the one to suffer every day? You wake up with this person, you wake up with this situation, and like everybody else is
I mean, if
enjoying
you're
their lives.
married, work it out always. But if you didn't get
Yeah,
married yet, then
keep it moving.
believe what people told you.
Right. Believe what you want.
Mm.
Well, thank you so much
Believe
for
what they
everybody.
tell you
Oh,
and
yeah,
show you. Believe what they
exactly.
show
Read
you,
the
not tell
signs. I
you.
think that when you're
I
dealing
don't
with
care about
somebody,
what they say because
no,
people
it's
say
all about
anything.
action
What they tell you is nothing,
compared
but
to
what
what they're
they
doing.
show you,
Hmm.
that's everything.
Exactly.
That's everything
Everything.
right
And
there.
that's what I realize about
Because
everything.
that's part of communication too, is them showing
Hmm.
you. People, nonverbal communication is a real thing.
Hmm. Hmm.
It's a real thing. It's a
Hmm.
real thing. We don't
Right.
need to be verbal to communicate.
Mm-mm.
People can communicate to you that they love you without saying those
Oh,
words
yeah,
ever.
exactly. Ever.
People can tell you, people could really hate you, not
Hmm.
by telling you that they hate you, but by the way that they treat you. It's
Hmm.
like they got real hate for you.
Hmm.
So yeah, believe in what people show you.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, guys. Thank you guys
Well,
for being here with us. We really appreciate you guys
yeah.
just hanging out, leaving the comments, being a part of Nothing's Wrong podcast every week. We really appreciate you guys every Sunday coming in here and just hanging out with us in the chat or on a video. Like, that's really cool, and we appreciate you guys.
Yeah, thank you so much for tuning in, everybody. Make sure you hit the like and share this. Maybe somebody needs to hear this tonight. So thank you so much. And hit up the Cash App. It is $ Nothing's Wrong Pod. It's what keeps the lights running in the show. So thank you so much, everybody. Have a wonderful start of your week because you're going to kill it. And don't let anybody mess it up for you.
Okay. All right, guys. Love you, love you, love you. And
And
always
always
remember,
remember,
nothing's
nothing's wrong.
wrong.
See you next time.
Oh, that's hot.